The end of the Erica Kane era. Our next guest, a big fan of the ever-dwindling soap opera, Roger Newcomb, founder of WeLoveSoaps.com. Hey, Roger, what made All My Children so memorable?
I think it's a combination of things. I think multi-generational storytelling, and also it probably was a leader in telling stories about social issues on TV. The first legal abortion on television, AIDS storylines, gay and lesbian storylines. I think it was just a leader in terms of that, so it drew a lot of people in. And great storytelling. Agnes Nixon is probably the greatest writer of soap opera history, and she created that show and guided it for many years. And I think she brought the show to the forefront and to the top of the ratings by telling multi-generational stories.
Yeah, I mean, this was huge. Starting in the 1970s, I mean, everybody tuned in for at least a decade. Then what happened?
There's a combination of factors. You heard the networks tell you that, there are more cable channels, there's more options, women went back to work, or, a lot of, they'll blame the O.J. Simpson trial. People stopped watching, and when you get out of the habit, maybe you don't want to continue. And I think all that is true, and I think, the production costs are high, and it's hard to produce 5 hours a week of a drama series, but I also think the networks had a lot of responsibility in this too, maybe not respecting the audience, telling stories that weren't realistic or true to the shows. I mentioned Erica Kane's abortion in 1973, which was groundbreaking. Over 30 years later, they actually brought her unaborted fetus back to life and said that it never happened. So it was sort of disrespectful to the fans in a lot of ways. So even the most loyal fan probably had trouble sticking it out at that point.
Yeah, I think it's called jumping the shark, isn't it, at that point?
Yeah.
All My Children is going to be continuing, as we mentioned a moment ago, online. Do you think it's going to be successful? And why do you think Susan Lucci hasn't signed on for this new version?
Well, I'm a big supporter of web series and soaps on the web. I think it has a great chance of being successful. The company that licensed it, Prospect Park, has some great minds behind it. I think, they said they want to continue it in a similar format as today, which is 5 hours a week. I think maybe that it's a little too much for the web. We'll see how that goes. But in terms of Susan, I still think maybe she'll sign on at some point. It could be a negotiating ploy to get more money, or it's hard to imagine an All My Children without Erica Kane.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would agree with you. Hey, listen, Roger, just before I let you go, give a plug to your website.
We're WeLoveSoaps.com, and we, look at soap from the past, present, and future perspective, and check us out.
Well, how are you going to fill that hour every day now?
For me, I'll probably watch web series. There are a lot of soap operas on the web, and a lot of great content being produced out there. So definitely check out the soaps on the web.
Roger, thanks a lot for this. Founder of WeLoveSoaps.com. Thanks very much for talking to us tonight. Continued happy watching those soaps, Roger. Take care.